The genre of hip-hop contains a range of topics, such as success, status, money, or the craft itself. Hundreds, if not thousands of songs have delved into these subject matters, some using them as a primary foundation to construct around. This method of songwriting has introduced outstanding results, critically and commercially speaking, and is often the expected route for top charting singles. However, there's an alternate route that, likewise, proves effective, and that is the complete opposite, the more introspective approach. Lyricism reflecting on stories of faults and errors. Of course, this isn't anything new. We've seen it from the industry's most notable artists, Jay-Z, Andre 3000, Kendrick Lamar, and, like everyone else. It's presented rap with an idea of vulnerability and openness, opposed to the rhythmic, upbeat characteristic of its origin. But where did this switch in genre come from? How did we go from Sugar Hill's Rapper's Delight to Kendrick Lamar's You in the matter of years?
You the reason why mama and them leaving. No, you ain't shit. You say you love them. I know you don't mean it.
To find an answer, we may look back at the Geto Boys' 1991 breakout single, My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. From the get-go, we're met with harshness, a raw personal telling of anxiety, misery, and insomnia, that of which can be classified as the true definition of paranoia, being threatened in some way, whether people are watching you or acting against you, but having no way of proving it. And through it all, the feeling that it must be faced up against in solitude. As the verse closes, we're given the idea of exactly what this song is about. And I just really need to emphasize how wild this opening is. Scarface, the trio member who wrote those lines, as a teenager dealt with many hardships and even spent time in a psychiatric ward. This isn't just for the part, the lines he sings are true and deep. To give you an idea of how emotionally open this is, this was the most popular song during that time. My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me was a complete contrast to what listeners were used to. The honesty and candidness Scarface is willing to present just deserves to be recognized. The start of the following verse feels reminiscent of a modern-day rap song, calling upon the aforementioned success, status, and money. But as the glim and glamour goes away, the distractions conceal themselves, and the lights shut off, the paranoia resurges again. Willie D, the second member of the trio, recalls the wrongs he's committed, the people he's hurt, fearing karma will surely catch up with him. And yet, there's no escaping, because the life he lives by will be the life he dies by. And again, Scarface reiterates this idea, a sense of inescapability, considering all the options and trying everything he can, but nothing seems to work. And by returning to the route of solidarity, he only pushes away any hope of recovery. We're given a story we can all find at least some understanding in. Maybe not to the degree that Scarface and Willie D are presenting, but we know what it's like when the distractions go away, when we're left alone to face our thoughts, to think how we could have done better, and when others offer an outreached hand, how quick we are to slap it away. The final verse by the third member, Bushwick Bill, tells a story within itself. One that begins with the trio defending themselves against a man they'd be, quote, seeing in their sleep, which from the opening lines we can deduce is the same man at the front of their paranoia, and even more to their borderline schizophrenia. When first listening to this song, I heard it as I told it to you today. But what I later learned is that Scarface was the sole writer behind it, intending it to be a solo single before offering it to the trio, meaning each verse was from his own perspective. The insomnia, constant anxiety, the experience cognate to schizophrenia, this combined with the background we know about him, is just an incredible, poignant story of vulnerability. While the song peaked on the top 100 at number 23 and is certified gold with over 500,000 unit sales, it typically flies under the mainstream, unable to hold its cultural status, that of which songs from the same era have still maintained, most likely due to their geographical location. During a time absent from streaming and one ruled by physical pressings, the Houston native group were never able to reach that public status, that of which an LA or New York artist might have had. While this may have hindered them monetarily, it cannot hinder their influence. Because of the important impact it has brought to the industry, My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me may be termed your favorite rapper's favorite song. When listened to, one may find the likes of J.Cole, Eminem, Joey Badass, Mac Miller, or even Biggie, diving into personal concerns, indifferent to the criticisms they may bring, but simply wanting to give their story that may help others in a similar situation.